Hey, it's Nay. Welcome to Hey Nay. So, I was gonna make an April Fool's joke today, but then I decided there's probably plenty of that going on enough. So I'm just gonna skip that part. But have a happy April Fool's Day for those of you who have a lot of fun today. Enjoy it. But I do want to talk about something a little bit more serious. So the topic for today is comfort zone and dating. And um, I was listening to I Do Podcasts a little while ago. And if you don't know this podcast, it's such a good one. Oh my gosh. I feel like I definitely must have mentioned it. But if you have not listened to it, please listen to that podcast. It is so good. Oh my gosh. It's this couple who runs it, Chase and Sarah. And they have experts come on. They have experts come on in all different parts of the world, honestly. And they sort of get into different topics and different questions in their specific fields in respects to relationships. And it's just fascinating. And what's even great is that, you know, Chase and Sarah even use their relationship as examples. You know what I mean? They talk about things that they've dealt with in regards to, you know, when they first came together, or, you know, having different views, or having different personalities a little bit too. Um, you know, when it came to being engaged, getting married, having a kid, they talk all about that, and it's pretty relatable. So I must say, definitely check that out if you haven't. But they had on Meryl Goldstein, who's actually stationed in New Jersey. Um, she's a, I believe, a marriage and family therapist, and she was talking about the comfort zone. And I thought that would be a good topic for today. I thought, um, you know, that it's something that a lot of people experience, but again, don't necessarily talk about. So, um, essentially, some things I want to highlight is that um, comfort zone is essentially when you are sort of, everything is familiar. You're used to it, and you stay in that. You know, you stay sort of in this routine, or this realm of normalcy. You know, that's kind of what comfort zone is, and that happens in our relationships. Sometimes we get very comfortable in our relationships. We may not even necessarily love this person as much as that person may think, or as much as the world may think. Um, but we're just comfortable. We feel good. You know, we feel all right. So because of that, we go along with. But even so, and Meryl Goldstein talks about this. Even so, even if you're in love with your significant other, and you've committed to each other, um, you can still fall for that comfort zone. You know what I mean? You can still just get used to things, and you stop rediscovering who your partner is. Um, she mentioned something about, like, you know, since you know your partner, you feel the need to not know more, or you're afraid to know more. And we can't do that. You know, we have to be trying to constantly um, rejuvenate our relationships. You have to keep it going, keep the heart beating, essentially, because after a while it can get stale. It really can. And if you're in a relationship right now, or you have been in a relationship before in which the relationship has gotten stale, you have to spice it up. You got to do something. You know, you have to make it worthwhile. Um, and you know, she talked about something that I didn't even think about, honestly, until she said it. She said that a lot of people don't do it because it's an emotional risk. And I was like, what? What is that? You know, what does that have to do with it? But I think what she meant was that you sort of open yourselves up again. You know, it's like you've gotten to know each other, but then you're diving a lot more deeper, and you know there are potential risks that can unfold. You know, I do believe that people tend to change over time. So maybe there's something that has changed about you that you haven't disclosed to your partner yet. And you're afraid to because of this emotional risk. You don't want to rock the boat, essentially. But we have to. We have to keep trying to understand and unpack our partner. We should know our partner, and our partner should know us. This should not be this weird limbo of not really knowing what's going on with each other. You know, I always think about the newlywed game and how there's some people who really don't know their partners. You should know your partner. You should know your partner. And excuse me. And I think that I think we're nervous. We're nervous to talk about certain things, and we're nervous to try things new because it may say something about the relationship that we didn't know before. But I do believe that it's a risk worth taking because when you get through it, your relationship is a lot stronger. Um, you know, she had mentioned something too that I thought was very interesting. She was saying that a lot of people who say "I love you" when they're exiting the door, that may be a sign of, you know, avoiding emotional risk. I was like, what? And she talked about when you say "I love you" as you're going out the door, you're not really waiting for the response. You know, it's more of a formality. It's part of the comfort zone. It's just straightforward. You know what I mean? You just sort of, "I love you, goodbye," and that's it. "I love you, goodbye." You know, and just and you're not really meaning it. You know, you're not really meaning it. So when you actually sit down with the person and say "I love you," or when you're in bed or something, you're saying "I love you," that's really good. You know, she even mentioned, I believe, a journal in which that each of you and your partner can write certain things that's on your mind, or as things happen, how you feel about them, and then share them with each other. You know, I know some people may think that's lame and that's too much work. You know, that may be true. But I think it's something to at least try. You know, try for a week and see how it is. You know, especially if you feel like your partner is holding back, especially if you know you are holding back. So we have to keep unraveling this. And I think it's great because I always say, I see, I'm not going to lie, I see a lot of relationships that just look stale and boring. And, you know, and I just like, how? Like, I don't understand how do you keep engaged with this person, or how do you stay engaged in this relationship? You know, you have to keep it going. You have to keep it spicing up. Try things new. I've talked about this several times before, and a lot of experts have said it as well, in which you have to have date nights. You know, you should have at least one date night a week. You know, you have to keep trying to, you know, bring your relationship back to life over and over again, because it can just wither away. It can just become stale, and you don't want to know, you don't want that to happen. And I suspect that that's a lot of reason why some people lead to divorce. It's because they've they've stopped the discovery, they stopped the journey, they stopped trying to learn more about their partner, and they just become more and more farther apart. That now it's like, I really don't want to be with you, when that could have been dealt with early on, and you could have probably even gotten closer. So we have to keep trying. You know, we have to step out of our comfort zone, and it's not easy. I know for everyone it's very different, but you have to challenge yourself and try various different ways, and you can definitely do it. And I recommend checking out Mira Goldstein's website. I believe I think it's Goldstein Therapy or something like that. But Google her and look her up, and if I find the link, I'll put it in the comments as well. So just really unpack that, really get into that. And I think you're heading to something really good. So that's it. I don't want to keep you too long, but I want to thank you guys for constantly watching, and I appreciate everything that everyone's been saying to me. Thank you so much. Make sure you subscribe, like, share, and love, and remember to always start your day off with a hey. Goodbye.